See guys, whenever we talk about the controls, we use we explain this control in terms of two entities, that is subject and object. Right? We have subject and we have what? We have object. So guys, what is subject? What is object? So subject can be any person, any software, anything, alright, that requires resources. So the resources that this subject is looking for is known as object. Am I clear? The subject can be anyone, any person, any process, any software, alright. It can be anything that is looking for a resource. The resource we are talking over here is your object, and this resource, this object, is need to prevent a CIA prior confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now, guys, you are working in an organization, right? So, can I go and can I you access the resources of your organization simply? Can I? I'm the subject. I'm the subject. The organization resources are object. All right. So, can I go and directly access the resources? Is it possible for me or any
No.
outsider? No, right? So here is the picture, here is the scenario where your control comes into picture. So what are controls? Controls prevents unauthorized access of object by the subjects. All right, that's why we use controls. All right, that's why we use what? We use controls to prevent unauthorized access of object by the subject. We have controls into the picture. All right, we have what? We have controls. Now in the same, same picture, I'm explaining you IAM, that is identity and access management. All right. So this is your subject, guys. Let's suppose this is you can say Mitzi. All right, Mitzi. Okay. Now Mitzi is the subject, and Mitzi wants to log into her bank account. Right. Now she opened the website, and website is asking for username. All right, and it is asking for the password. All right. Now, guys, whenever we talk about identity and access management, you will be providing the following things, all right, to that particular platform. That is identification. Will be providing authentication. You will be provided with, you can say, authorization and accountability, that is provided by your norm that you be. All right. So this is your, you can say, things. All right. We have identification, we have authentication, we have authorization, and we have what? We have out. Right. So Mitzi wants to log into her bank account. Now that bank is having a lot of customers, right? Lot of customers. So first thing Mitzi want to do is she wants to identify herself, all right? She will be putting a username. By putting the username, the bank will get the notification that a person with the name Mitzi, out of all these customers, Mitzi is the customer who wants to access a bank account. All right. Now you have provided your identification by typing a username. Now, guys, there are several Mitzi there are several customer with the name Mitzi. All right. So what and how the bank will identify them? For that, you have to do what? You have to provide your authentication. That will be provided using password. All right. So by authenticating yourself, you'll be telling the bank that yes, this is the actual Mitzi that wants to access the bank. Now, guys, these authentications are further divided into three categories, all right, three types, I must say. We have type 1, type 2, type 3. So we have type 1, we have type 2, and we have type 3. right? These are what, these are the type of, you can say, authentication. Type 1 includes something you know. What can be the example? Password, right? So these are what, these are the type of authentications, all right? If you will be using only one authentication, all right, that's okay, but it's not recommended. It's not recommended at all. The reason is I can easily compromise your password. I can easily get your username. That's why it is said that you should be using MFA, that is known as multi-factor authentication. It means to say that using more than one type of authentication factor. If you are using more than one type, that is known as multi-factor authentication. And what is the benefit of using MFA, guys? The reason is, even I know the username and passwords of Mitzi's account. Even I know. After that also, guys, I will not be able to log into our website. The reason is, as soon as I'll be providing username and password, the platform will be displaying me some kind of questions, secret questions, or it will be sending you the notification or whatever, right? So this is how multi-factor authentication can protect your, we can say, accounts. That's why it is advisable that whatever account you are using, bank account, social media accounts, whatever, all right, always try to use multi-factor authentication over there. All right, now guys, let's suppose Mitzi provided her identification authentication, right? Then depending upon the usage, the user, the authorization will be discussed. All right, this authorization will be discussed. All right, it will be checked that what kind of authority Mitzi holds in this particular account. Is she the user, a normal user, or is she the administrator? All right. Now, after checking all these things, all right, it will be checked that okay, Mitzi is just a journal user. So authorization will be provided to her depending upon her, you can say, security clearance of the object. And guys, after providing the authentication, accountability comes into picture. Accountability means that now Mitzi is inside her account, bank account. Now, whatever she will be doing, she is accessing the website. You can say she's making transactions, she's sending the money, receiving the money, whatever she is doing, she is accountable for her actions. All right, she will be accountable for her actions. Later on, she cannot deny that she has not performed those things. So that is what, that is your IAM, identity and access method. You can say identity and access control, right? And what is access control, guys? In access control, you will be, you can say, you'll be providing or you will be implementing selective restrictions so that no unauthorized person can access the resources of the organization. All right. All right. So your access control determines that who is the person who will be having the access and who is the person who will not be having the access. We have BIBA integrity model. All right. Apart from that, we have mandatory access control. We have discretionary access control. So I'm just citing it over here. So we have various kind of, you can say, access control models. We have MAC, mandatory access control. Then we have DAC, that stands for discretionary access control. Then we have rule-based access control, that is rule-based access control. Then we have role-based access control. And there is one more, guys, that is known as attribute based access control. The back, all right. Attribute based access control. So these are the type of access control models, guys. How can anyone define this mandatory access control? In mandatory access control, first of all, the clearance level of the subject with the object will be checked. It will be checked that over here, Bridzi, is she allowed to access the confidential files or not? Or is she having higher access? If she is having higher access right, that is, she can access top secret or secret files also, it will be checked. And then the clearance level of the subject will be matched with the object. All right. Now, depending upon that, guys, the access will be given to Mitzi. But whatever access rights has been given to Mitzi, Mitzi cannot decide further that whether she can give the access rights to Sharif or me. She cannot do that in mandatory access control, right? Whatever access rights are being provided are being assigned to Mitzi. She can use them, but she cannot decide who can access the information, right? Further. Whereas in discretionary based access control, guys, let's suppose I'm the administrator. I provided the access rights to Sharif. So further, Sharif can decide, guys, that whether those access rights can be given to Mirchi or not. That is discretionary access control, right? Then we have rule-based access control. Rule-based access control means depending upon the duration of the day, depending upon the geographical locations, all right, the access rights will be given. That is, you can say rule-based access control. It happens, guys. One of my students, he came from Netherlands last year, all right, and I was teaching him CHFI, that is forensic investigator course. So during the session, I just asked him that how he's managing to do his official work along with the training. So he told me one thing very clearly. He said, Deepak, in Netherlands, our organizations don't allow us to use the organization resources till the time we are in Asian countries and some of Middle East countries also. So since he was in India, it's an Asian country, right? So his organization has completely denied his access rights to the company resources. That was what? That was rule-based access, based on the time and based on the geographical location. All right. Then we have rule-based access control, that is role-based access control. So depending upon the role you are playing in the organization, if you are a senior manager, the access right will be given to you, all right, that are for senior manager. If you are a network administrator, so the access right will be given to you according to your roles. So these are what, these are the things that are given in the book. One thing that is not included in the session, in the book, in the courseware is ABAC, right? That is attribute based access control.